Hello, everyone, and welcome to Poetry Street. This is the room without a roof where every voice is heard, and we're so glad that you're here today. And also, happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And in respect and in honor of that, I would like to start off with a poem entitled On Friendship by Khalil Gibran. And the youth said, "Speak to us on friendship." And the answer saying, "Your friend is your needs answered. He is your field, which you sow with love and reap with thanksgiving. And he is your board and your fireside, for you come to him with your hunger and you seek him for peace. When your friend speaks his mind, you fear not the nay in your mind, nor do you withhold the I. And when he is silent, your heart cease not to listen to his heart. For without words, in friendship, all thoughts, all desires, all expectations are born and shared with joy that is unacclaimed. When you part from your friend, you grieve not, for that which you lost most in him may be clearer in his absence, as the mountain to the climber is clear from the plain. And let there be no purpose in friendship save the deepening of the spirit, for love that seeks aught but the disclosure of his own mystery, us not love, but the net cast forth, and only the unprofitable is caught. And let your best be for your friend. If he must know the ebb of your tide, let him know the flood also. For what is your friend that you should seek him with hours to kill? Seek him always with hours to live. For it is his to fill your need, but not your emptiness. And in sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasure. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning, and it is refreshed. Khalil Gibran. Okay. It is. Thank you. Thank you, all of you wonderful people on Zoom land. We're so glad to be here. It is our tradition to start with the land acknowledgement. New York, Long Island has always been the gathering and trading place for many of the indigenous people. We acknowledge that we're guests of this land. Poetry Street and our work here in Long Island is situated on the ancestry and unceded lands of the Lenape, who are the original caretakers, also the Canarsie, the Shinnecock, the Montaukes, the Requa, the Montay, and the Haudenosaunee. We acknowledge and respect the many indigenous people who live on this land and continue to make ongoing contributions. Once again, welcome to Poetry Street. And now it is my pleasure. Thank you. Rushing here. Now it's my pleasure to introduce you to the author of Sleepless Nights and many other books, the Emmy Award-winning Maggie Bloomfield.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. Between traffic and family, look how many people we still have. That's terrific. Okay. Yes. Poetry Street is the room without a roof where every voice is heard. Our mission is diversity. We started, and I want to invite you all to please come back next month for our 10th anniversary of poetry. Okay, yes, Poetry Street started 10 years ago. It was a project of Susan Dingle and Bobby Brown. It came out of the Jumpstart program at East End Arts. We met at the Blue Duck for years, and then the Blue Duck closed, sadly, and we were kind of homeless for a while, and then COVID happened, of course, and we went on Zoom. So Riverhead Library and the generosity of Pam Cook and everybody at this library. This is an amazing, wonderful library. Yes. So we have some wonderful features today. You know, what we do here is we encourage you to love poetry and then possibly to write poetry and then maybe to read poetry, okay? So if you like the poet, please make a lot of noise. Like you're at a sports event, okay? We don't care that it's a library, they don't care. And if you don't like the poet, make a lot of noise anyway. A lot of people have started here, come back and gotten incredibly good by the time it's over. I want to mention the community poem. You'll see a jar over there and some slips of paper. We encourage you to write one line about anything and put it in that jar. Next month, I will come back with a poem written from what you wrote. I'm going to read you last month's poem. Today is the best day of my life. Poetry is my savior, good times and bad, blessing. Yet without a prompt, I am only a pen, writing merrily as we roll along. Spring is here, essence of grace, even the hops are rejoicing, yet they chant with hypocrisy, carry away truth into war. Love is the river that flows both ways. When peace becomes reality, where will you be? And now to our features. We will begin with somebody who showed up at the library, started reading, and she's wonderful, and we're so happy to have her here. Susan Semerade, I'm pronouncing that correct, right? Known as Surya in the yoga and Buddhist communities, teaches classes in Buddhism and meditation at the Long Island Buddhist Meditation Center. She's grateful to us for giving her the confidence and inspiration to enhance her childhood interest in poetry. Many of her poems reflect her experiences in meditation, on the meditation cushion. Okay. Susan, let's hear it for Susan. This is a biggie. This is a real biggie. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for asking me, Maggie. Thank you, Chip. What an honor, and I'm very, very humbled. Can you hear me while the mic a little closer? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fabulous. So as Maggie said, I'm a yoga teacher. I teach meditation. So a lot of my poems reflect that. Also was involved with animals for a lot of years. I have a lot of poems that reflect that. And whatever it is, it is. So the first one I'm going to start with is a poem from meditation. And the title is If Only. When I sit on my cushion wrapped in the white shawl I crocheted, breathing in the sweet fragrance of the essence, gazing at the little tea candle in front of the Buddha statue, I enter a different world. From the ethers, the quietness descends. Automatically, the breath deepens. In, out. The portal to my inner eye opens. Universal light streams forth. I'm wise when I'm on my cushion. Not as soon as I sit. No, it takes some time. And not always, but mostly. Focusing on breath. Deep breath in, long breath out. Over and over again. Deep breath in,
The veil of delusion lifts slightly. Defilements I'd rather deny are blatantly revealed. Unkind thoughts, judgments, criticisms, I'm ashamed to confess, but with admittance, awareness blooms. Like the crocus peeking through the snowy landscape. If only I could wrap this glimpse of wisdom around me like my shawl, take it with me through my day. Instead of fretting, vexing, letting my mind spin out of control. I've been down this path before, many times, too many times. If only I could wrap this insight around me like my shawl, take it with me through my day. Will I only be astute when on my cushion? I'm berating myself where I think I should be, instead of acknowledging where I am. It's a process after all. A toddler falls many times before they are able to walk. I'm an old toddler, a late bloomer, but I'm here now, on my cushion, deep breath in, long breath out. One day, perhaps, this shawl of wisdom will be with me throughout my day, some recompense for time spent on my cushion. Calmness, stillness, awareness. So when September 11th happened, I had written a poem at that time, and that poem was really so much about patriotism and, everyone wanted to have a flag and to really was so proud to be an American. But this year I had a different look at it. So this poem is based on the one I wrote back then. On the day of September 11th, thousands of souls journeyed to heaven. Our country brutally attacked from a ruthless, cowardly act. Shattered from that fatal blow on that day so long ago. As a nation, we lifted chunks of twisted steel, and with each piece, we believed we'd heal. Heal from the anger and fear that kept us apart. Heal from the hatred that darkened our hearts. Believing in our promised land, we came together hand in hand. With hands to heart, we proudly flew, old glories, red, white, and blue. We were united, however brief, bonded together in our grief. But I look back now in disbelief, for that was before the division came, filling minds with lies and blame, and those in power with no shame, inciting the fury in their political game. And that was before school shootings and lockdowns and shelter in place, before banning books and women's rights became a federal case, before indictments and insurrections and a country's disgrace, before a heartbreaking decline of this human race. The enemy believed we'd crumble and fall, defeated like a bug. They thought we'd crawl into that hole of self-destruction and hate. And sadly, we took the bait. For the enemy is not from some far-off land. Oh no, my friend, the enemy is here in our own homeland. But I won't give up. I will still pray that we'll stop looking the other way. For it didn't matter then about the color of your skin. It didn't matter then about your religion. It mattered that you were an American. When scores of people crossed from this world to the one above, a powerful message soars on the wings of a dove. The message is clear. Extirpate hate. Cultivate a nation of love. This one is titled As You Are. Inside, outside, upside down, tumbling, fumbling, spinning around, confused, befuddled, days blending as one, restless, aimless. What day is it? What time is it? What is this purpose? What am I learning? What should I be doing? Go within, I hear. How deep do I go? Your heart knows the path. Stop cleaning the closet, start cleansing your soul. Delve deep to the core, sort through the muddle. Be persistent, resistant to distracting, endless, useless thoughts. Bathe in the silence, soak in the stillness. Purge any doubt, cast away all beliefs. You are who you are, as you were lifetimes ago. Breathe, feel, trust, accept, acknowledge. wise woman herself. So this one I wrote some years ago when my granddaughter was killed in a car accident. And it's called The Life of the Living. Somber feelings rise and recede like waves on a turbulent sea. Grief, pain, fear, dragging me down, deep, deeper. Depression, exhaustion, insomnia. Yet in the midst of the swirling, whirling conglomeration of emotions, a sliver of light shines through the bleakness. Relief, however brief, I'll take it. A glimmer of hope inches its way inward. A smile breaks through the barrier. Peace that lasts. What is that? A tear and another and another? Wham, sadness slams my being. I thought the pain was done, gone forever. Oh, I see. This is life, an ever-changing mix of highs and lows, joy and sorrow, peace and turmoil. This is life. Life after the death of a life. Life after the death of a life I knew. This is life, life of the living. This one is a little dark, and the title is Calone. In the darkness of death, you chose your last breath alone. Your thoughts overcome with strife, you took your life alone. Noose tight around your neck, feet inches off the deck. Was your shame so great you needed to terminate your life alone? Indeed, you controlled growing old, but behold, alone. This one I actually wrote for a friend on her naming ceremony, and it's called Wise Woman Found. Like a child, she shuffled her feet through the autumn leaves, feeling the warmth of the sun and the cool of the breeze. Peculiar how the child was void of insight and appreciation, never able to see the beauty of God's creation. How could she have known the joys of being alive when it took all her energy to simply survive? But one day it happened. It seemed overnight when she opened her eyes and saw the light. Gazing at the sun filtering through the trees, she stopped and dropped to her knees. The earth damp from yesterday's rain cleansed her soul from all the pain. With arms stretched out to the heaven above, her heart opened and filled with love. Continuing a walk, a child no longer, a woman, a crone, much wiser and stronger. From little girl lost to wise woman found, from ignorance and blindness to wisdom renowned. This is another one on meditation, evening meditation. The moon sits high on this cold winter evening. From the window I see her full face peering over the tall pines. Wrapped in my warm white shawl, I settle on my cushion. The serene face of the Buddha statue helps to calm my agitated mind. I couldn't help but hear the news earlier. It was all over. Violent acts of hatred, angry people spewing angry words, fingers pointing, accusing, blaming, egos pushing relentlessly for power. My own mind troubled. It's hard to let go of the violence, the contorted faces of fury. Breathe! I'm practically yelling at myself, shifting on my cushion, restless. Breathe again, I say more gently. Deep breath in, long breath out. I spent nearly 10 minutes being angry at those I perceive as angry, self-righteously judging the same wrath I'm experiencing. Small spark of insight, Vipassana. The Karaniya Metta Sutta comes to mind, the words of loving kindness from the Buddha. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving kindness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hate or enmity. Breathe in, breathe out. Quiet is slowly enveloped. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. In, out. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. Breathe in, breathe out. Stillness. The timer bell dings. Meditation is over. The world is still the same. I am calm and a bit wiser. So this one, well, I'll read it and you can just find out for yourself. And the title is called Hate. Hate grows like a raging fire. Hate erupts like Mount Vesuvius. Hate floods like a tsunami. Hate takes us from our homeland. Hate takes our homeland away. Hate annihilates, exterminates, decimates. Hate is homicide, genocide, forced suicide. Hate the Jews, hate the blacks, hate the Cherokees. Hate is the Trail of Tears. Hate is Pearl Harbor. Hate is Auschwitz. Hate is Rwanda. Hate is September 11th. Hate is civil wars, world wars, revolutionary wars. Hate is the loss of family, loss of home, loss of life. Hate is hangings, gassings, beheadings. Hate is mass sorrow, mass suffering. Hate captures, kidnaps, and traps. Hate is in our country. Hate is in the world. Hate, hateful, hatred. May hate be obliterated from our vocabulary. May hate be eradicated from our minds. May hate be extinguished from our hearts. O merciful God, may this hate end.
Yes.
On a lighter note, and this is called the New World. Amidst the suffering and sorrow, the sadness and endings, a gentler way of life is birthed. Emerging from a long-forgotten place, boredom gives way to reflection, restlessness to peacefulness. All useless beliefs dissolve, like an icicle in the sun. Drip, drip, drip. Anger melts. Drip, drip, drip. Hate dissipates. Droplets fall to the earth. Kindness blooms. Tolerance flowers. One droplet at a time. One still moment at a time. One being at a time. A new world arises. So I said I've been around animals a lot, worked in an animal shelter for many, many years. So I have a lot of poems over the years that were about animals. And this one is from back in 1987. And the title is A Patch of Gold. A beam of sun glimmered on the golden retriever puppy, curled in a round ball, nose tucked under a feathery tail. Hello, sweet boy, I said, entering the puppy room. I was the first to arrive at the animal shelter. The gilded ball of fur lifted his head, nose up, sniffing to locate where the sound was coming from. I opened the gate, touched his soft fur, warm from the morning sun, murmured words of comfort, soothed the 8-pound pup in my arms. His plumy tail swayed slowly, uncertain. I gazed down his sweet, innocent face to eyes that weren't there. Little slits where eyes should have been. He was blind. Angry at the humans who bred and interbred, causing an innocent pup to be born blind. A little voice inside reminds me they could have had him euthanized. They could have killed him in any number of ways. Instead, they gave him a chance. I carried the little fellow outside to the puppy pen, lowered him in the center. He stood, nose up, sniffing the air. New smells. He squatted where he was. I sat at the other end of the pen and whistled softly. His black nose lifted high, alert, cautiously moving one puppy foot forward, waiting for the sound to guide him. I continued to whistle. He bumped his way from corner to corner, following the sound. He found me, wiggled and swiveled onto my lap, wet puppy kisses, sweet puppy breath, heaven. I named him Patch, a patch of gold. He grew fast, too fast, outgrew his safe puppy haven, and graduated to the kennel. A cacophony of barking, howling, yowling dogs tripled his size. He looked so small in the big kennel run, sitting on his blanket, favorite toys tucked close by. I gave him an extra biscuit, kissed his velvety forehead. I told him I'd be back in the morning, promised him someone would come and take him home, love him forever. He gently licked my face. He trusted me. I was at the shelter the next morning, an hour before it opened. Unlocked gates and doors, released the alarm. The dogs were making a racket. Paps didn't hear me come in. I whistled. He sat upright, nose lifted, his tail swishing side to side. Excited, unsure. I'm here, I said. I'll always be here. I snapped a leash on his collar and let him out. I took him home. And that was a lot of years ago. So this is an update one, not unpatched, but another animal story. This is called A Touch of Grace. Untangling myself from a hodgepodge mix of legs and tails and snorts and purrs, warm furry body still nestled under the covers. I grabbed my robe and stepped into fleece-lined slippers. Checked the thermostat. Inside, a mere 59. Outside, cold 36. I turned the heat up to 68. Lit the kettle for tea. Opened the blinds to a wintry day. Under the bird feeder, a scraggly cat sat hunched, ready to pounce on some little innocent victim. Then I thought, this is an innocent victim as well. A sentient being trying to stay alive. This is not someone's pet out for a morning run. I tapped lightly on the window. The cat looked up at me. I scared its meal away. The kettle whistled. My tea water was ready. I went back to look. The cat was gone. I hoped it would stay away. I already had a house full of aging, sightless, toothless rescues. The days got deadly colder. Snow was in the forecast. There was no sign of the cat. I worried about it as I knew I would. And all the others jumped, discarded the senseless being. I caught myself looking from window to window, hoping the cat was there, hoping the cat wasn't there. I almost forgot about the pathetic creature when it appeared again in the same spot under the bird feeder. I put a bowl of kibble by the back door. Oh, I was inviting heartache for sure. The cat gobbled the morsels, looking for more. On closer look, this pitiful being was a female. The telltale pale gray and orange tortoiseshell coloring distinct only to female cats. The tip of her left ear was clipped in the standard trap neuter release of feral cats. She was not lost or abandoned, unlike her mother, who must have given birth in someone's shed or under a porch, or whatever nook or cranny she could find. Someone cared enough to have this tortie from that fate. The cat came every day, sometimes twice. I built her a shelter so she could eat her meals protected from the elements, and another insulated one with a heating pad to shield her from the cold. She would stare into the sunroom window, watching the goings on inside my home, breaking my heart a little bit more every day. It was the cat who finally put an end to my endless anguish over whether I could bring her in or not. She clearly let me know in a language not many understand. She was done looking in from the outside. She was ready to come indoors. I barred a humane trap, doubting she would be tricked again, even if I put some smelly fish food. No sooner did I walk away when the cat walked into the trap, stepped on the lever and closed the gate. No fuss, no fret, as if she knew her days of suffering were over. She settled easily in a large crate set up in my sunroom and burrowed under a fluffy blanket. I named her Grace. Dr. Terry came the next day, promptly thrust a needle in Grace's rump that was edged against the crate. Within minutes, Grace was sedated and thoroughly examined. Grace was of undetermined age. This cat, who suffered a lifetime of misery, somehow managed to survive without a tooth in her mouth. Probably possibly due to long-time malnourishment, Dr. Perry surmised. It's 3 years since the day Grace let herself be trapped and brought inside to live amongst the rest of the menagerie. She still slinks around the house in elusive, shadowy form, eating her food only when I leave the room. But that's okay. I knew it wouldn't be easy for a girl to adjust to a life of kindness and comfort, not after years of struggling in a harsh, cruel world. Grace is safe now. That's what counts. Occasionally, I spot her curled up on the bed with the other cats, basking in the warmth of a sunbeam. Today, a miracle of sorts occurred. Grace let my finger touch her nose, a touch of grace. Okay, so this is a short one. And again, it's about an animal. My friend's dog we were trying to rescue that had been running loose for a long time. It wasn't her dog, it was a stray. And the title is Sammy the Hound. Perhaps once in a lifetime, a special friend is found. For you, that special friend came as Sammy the Hound. Beaten, battered, abused, and alone, how did he manage on his own? On 3 legs he hobbled, the 4th rotting away, grotesque, deformed, foul-smelling from decay. What courage it took for him to survive, hunting the ducks in your yard to stay alive. For months he eluded your helping hand, accepting food from a distance before he ran. And run, yes he could, till he was well out of sight, alone in the woods all through the night. Finally exhausted, he could run no more. His health quickly failing, he faced death's door. He laid on the grass, wet from the dew, and surrounded his life and his will to you. You cried at the horror of his tortured limb, and feared the prognosis would certainly be grim. A mere bag of bones he was carried with care and brought to your home to heal and repair. His plight made him famous. He was known all around as a 3-legged dog named Sammy the Hound. Thank you so much.
All right, let's hear it. Absolutely delightful. I think everybody really enjoyed it. I'm so glad you agreed, somewhat reluctantly, to feature. It seems that our wonderful Zoom poet, hello Zoom people, I neglected you before, and Claire, who without Claire we could not do this. I'm going to introduce you to Akay. Jackson is a published performance poet, runway and fashion model, local government employee, and community and youth activist. She serves as a member of the National Coalition of Negro Women, Huntington Chapter, and the Mothers Club of Weekly Heights. She's the mother of 3 beautiful children, loves to spend time with them, and give back to her community. Please help me welcome Akay.
Thank you so much. I am very glad to be here with you all this afternoon. The first poem I would like to share with you all is called Beautiful. My black is beautiful. Every color and shade of brown that flows all around, from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. My black is beautiful. Every inch of me. Plush lips, curvy hips are examples of features my ancestors were once ridiculed for. only to grow up and see that's what most people adore. And by adore, I mean copy, stolen, mimic, influence, random words to hide the pain because now everyone's into it. But we are kings and we are queens. We are royalty for sure. These aren't questions up for debate, researchable facts. Need I say more? The darker the flesh, the richer the glow. I want all my brothers and sisters to know that from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, your Black is beautiful and will always be. Thank you. The title of my next and final piece is called You. I don't know how someone can control everything a person does, but yet do nothing for them at the same time. Why am I here? Do you know that's a question I've asked myself my whole life? Do you know the lack of love you showed me caused me to seek and love those who didn't even deserve me? Do you care? You see, it's hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that something created from your flesh, you can so easily disconnect. Why am I here? Why do you treat me like a burden unworthy of words and love? Do you not know that you are the blueprint to my self-esteem? You are so important to me. You are the architect of my self-reflection. And do I really have to mention that I love you? I did then, and I do now. And even through my anger and resentment, I'm standing here trying to show you how. Why am I here? Better yet, why do I care? Why do I search for love and acceptance when I know it isn't there? Why do I strive to be the very best that I can be when I know deep down inside, you will never see me? You see, I think it's just something to believe in, even for no reason. Thank you.
Maggie, Chip's gonna have to unmute you.
Okay, wow, what a wonderful afternoon so far. We have one more feature. If you have an extra poem at the end of the open mic, we could bring you back for an encore. I hope so. Okay, our final feature of the day is a good friend of Poetry Street. Vinnie Calone is a formalist poet and a first place winner in the PPA 2023 poetry contest. He studied under Louis Turco, author of the new book of Form. Vinnie is a submission editor at the Scene Life Poetry Art Zine, June 2023. It's been around since then. A major work, which I think he might be going to read from today, is The Old Wooden Bench and Other Poems. That book will be released in the summer 2024, and he needs a poetry venue in Rocky Point on which Tuesday of the month?
First Tuesday of the month.
First Tuesday of the month. Welcome, Vinnie.
Thank you. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, everyone out there in Zoom land. We appreciate it. Kevin Donnelly. Sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody here. It really means a lot, Barbara. I would have given you a ride if you asked me. I'm going to get right to the poetry. I wrote this last year for a friend of mine and Judy's. His name is Lee Eric Friedman. He's actually the poet laureate of Swampscott, Massachusetts. And I looked at a picture of the cemetery in Swampscott, Massachusetts, last Memorial Day, and I wrote this poem. It's a variation on Gazelle. It's called Plant the Dead, the Lee Eric Friedman. Let the sacrifices they've made sweeten the soil with bone meal and tendons in spring, uncoil and grow. Although you are too young to know, the 300 is so buried here, though apropos, watering the flowers upon the gravestones here planted in the grove as we remember. We gather from near and far amongst the heather and sage, listen to taps and register the wage of their toil and toll. We extol and pray. We remember, yet we forget. We regret watering the flowers upon the gravestones here planted in the grove to remember. Why we go and fight in wars, what the hell is it all good for, and why we never surrender. From November to May, in the earth they lie, awaiting the phoenix. Will they ever know why? Watering the flowers upon the gravestones here planted in the grove, let's remember. War like a fog rolls in low to the ground. It grabs your ankle and tangles you as it steals the air from your lungs. War claims the young, watering the flowers upon the gravestones here planted in this grove, please remember. We need to sow the seeds of peace in this war garden. Plant the dead no more. Let's amend the soil and tempers boil, watering the flowers upon the gravestones here planted in this grove, and remember, when the snake recoils, when flags unfurl, let's remember again this September, and again in October, November, December, May, June, and July, while we're at it, watering the flowers upon the gravestones here planted in this grove, so remember. January, February, when the earth is concrete and frozen over, like Cold War kids. March into the spring, let us hear you sing, give peace a chance. So rise and dance, take a stance, most of all, smile, watering the flowers upon the gravestones here planted in this grove. We'll never forget. Thank you. So I'm reading from, this is going to be the book called The Old Wooden Bench and some other poems. So I'm just reading random bits. This is called Non-Productive. Time is linear, meticulously splined, tongue and groove, precise and seductive. The more that I search, the more that I find, the path ahead narrow and obstructed. Life moves fast when there's no time to rewind, to see the pyramids we've constructed. And the more I search, the more I find, the path ahead narrow and obstructed. I don't know how to relax or unwind, and I'm always doing as I'm instructed. Life moves fast and there's no time to rewind, to see the pyramids we've constructed. I don't know how to relax or unwind, and always do as I'm instructed, to help give others, give back and be kind, finding things to keep myself productive. Life moves fast and there's no time to rewind, to see the pyramids we've constructed, to help others give back and be kind, finding things to keep myself productive. Not what it seems, just a trick of the mind, there's no choice, it's electric, I'm conductive. Life moves fast and there's no time to rewind, to see the pyramids we've constructed. golden touch. It's both a blessing and a curse. It's kind of hard to say what's worse when everything turns to shiny metal, albeit a book, a bike, or rose petal. You'd think it'd be good to just try to eat food. Sadly, all my pets are now statuary. I've gilded cage and a canary. Each road a yellow brick one, my world aglow, the color of the sun. I've gotten the golden touch, yeah, that's for sure, with each golden key and each golden door. But what good are riches when you can't spend them? When the golden rules and why you defend them, a modern-day miser, or a working man's Agamemnon. Leaving your vaults open, do not defend them. When everything's gold, what use is money? Starving daily in the land of milk and honey. When everyone's rich and everyone's famous, waiting in the same line with the name in the faceless. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm writing a series. I have no washer and dryer in my house. So I go to the laundromat and I'm writing a series of poems about my time spent at the laundromat. It's called the Laundromat Series, and this one is called Blue Honda Fit. In her blue Honda Fit parked out back, first spot next to the handicap spot back of the old Rocky Point laundromat. Interior filled to the brim with boxes, papers, clothing of all sorts. Passenger side windows sealed shut. Tires badly balding, wires showing through. This is her home, parked alone, all alone. The news announces mass layoffs across the board. 15 minutes flies by and the war cycle half complete. Heavy rain's been falling. Heavy winds are on the way. Temperature ranging from 20 to 60, all in a few calendar days. Flooding and beach erosion, reminding us of nature's promise of New Year's Day. What could be worse? A mid-January breaking of a resolution. Dark on the 15th at 5 p.m., 2 weeks after the fray. Cars drive by as I stand watch on the corner. They drive through standing water, thinking they'll make it to the other side. Oh, blue Honda Fit parked and filled to the headliner with remnants of your life. Obstructed rear view mirror which hangs the photo of your cat. How long till the robber sings? How long till spring asks the churning washer? Hold on, hold on, hold out, hold on. Answers the dryer in time. Time passes as she tends to the clothesline, and I find. Thank you. This is called Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid, you say to yourself over and over again. You notice the Afghan twisted around a blanket halfway out the dryer door. Look around, untwist and retuck it, hit the button and close the door. Walk away knowing you've done your good deed for the day. But who's counting anyway? Keep it simple, you say to yourself. Don't overcomplicate things like you do. Simple. So simple a caveman can do it. So simple a fifth grader knows it. So simple an infant can figure it out. But you don't. You just got to drag it out. You just got to make it about you. And by you, I mean me. I mean me. I, me, mine, myself, of myself, for myself, by myself. I mean you. Simple, easy, logical, methodical, systematic, precise, as exact as the seconds, the minutes, the hours of the clock. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Thank you. Another laundromat poem. Something in the way we disarm ourselves. As we let our guards down, only long enough to let each other in, to let the other person see the face we show. And we know it's all about perception. As you stare deeper into the reflection in the Dexter double load commercial washer, as it finishes its spin cycle, peer at your peers, look around, offer assistance, lost boy now found. As we hear the rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat of the middle washer, and like a river, the cycle repeats ad infinitum, or at least that's what it seems as I lose myself in the constant rhythmic spinning of the washers and dryers, the cacophony, Sunday morning coming down. The sound is unmistakable, uncanny, incomprehensible, a sullen, saddened sound, the sound of clothes drying, of hearts breaking, of relationships fraying, one spin cycle at a time. 1 hour on high is really 40 minutes. For every 6 minutes, they build 2 in for a cool down. They don't advertise that. At the other corner of opportunity and preparation, you bump into luck. Something in the way we disarm ourselves, alarm ourselves, protect the dead and the cubs. Sharing a space on a Sunday morning, washing and drying, folding and such. Washing and waiting and thinking of others who've done the same, who'll do the same. Some sunny day, wondering why you write, and who cares for their plight. The dryers and the night, burning white hot bright, lit by the lone pilot light, spinning on and on and on. Thank you, I appreciate it. Here's a villanelle, it's a homage to Dylan Thomas. It's called Please Go Gingerly Into This Bad Day. I kind of just flipped everything around, but kept the same rhyme. Please go gingerly into this bad day. Look not to shout and try not to fight. Peace unto all, may love find a way. Even wise men can err, this is why we pray. Before the mouth speaks a lie and spite, please go gingerly into this bad day. Bad people, what do you all say? Through the mire muck in the darkest night, and peace unto all, make love find a way. Corralled and collared, led into the gray. Don't kick the cages, stay within sight. Please go gingerly into this bad day. We all stumble deeper into the fray, with our eyes closed down like liberty tight. In peace unto all, let love find a way. My God, help keep the invaders at bay, batten the hatches and keep the shoreline in sight. Please go gingerly into this bad day, and peace unto all. Help love find a way. So I'm just leafing through here. I'm not a political person, but sometimes I have to write a poem or two based on a situation or a series of events. So I'm going to just read this and let you make your own. I'm sorry. When we pause and peer through the prison sublime, what do we look? What do we see? What do we find in the prisons of our mind when we stop and look at black and white, wrong and right as clear as the open space, this problem that we have with race and rights? And the riots lead to wars and death, gasping for another breath. Can we occupy the same place? Or will we end the human race this time? When I look at you, I see myself through this prison in my mind. When I look at you upon my shelf, framed in the present perfect time, I know you will fight for what is right and what we fail to write. It is as clear as the open window pane, and I feel your pain and your fright. When you stop and look at white and black, don't turn back, do what is right. And as I write this, I know more wars or worlds will add to the fight, and the riots lead to wars and death, gasping for another breath. Can we occupy the same place, or will we end the human race this time? When I look at you, I see myself through the prison in my mind. When I look at you upon my shelf, framed in the present perfect time. When we pause and peer through the prison sublime, what do we see? What do we find in the prisons of our mind? When we stop to look at black and white, wrong and right, is it as clear as an open space, this problem that we have with race and rights? And the riots lead to wars and death, gasping for another breath. Can we occupy the same place, or will we end this human race this time? When I look at you, I see myself through the prism in my mind. When I look at you upon my shelf, framed in the present perfect time. Thank you.
All right, let's Wow, what a feature. What an afternoon. I'm going to turn the open mic over to Chip. I will just outline the rules. We have rules here. There's a hook. Please do one poem, not your epic, I'm sorry, not the one that's going to bring you fame and fortune, but a reasonably short poem, and we will begin. Just
thank everyone here and those of you who are on Zoom. We're going to start here at the Riviera Free Public Library, and we're going to ask Bill Batcher to please come up. Okay. After supper, maybe you're one of those who takes all the dishes and puts them in the dishwasher, leaves it running overnight, or maybe you wash them up by hand and set them in a rack. But either way, in the morning you're left with all these dishes, and that need to be put away, and it seems like such a noisy task. So this is called morning remonstrance. Yesterday's dishes I won't put away, though they're perfectly dry in the rack, for I know they'll demolish the mood of the day if I should start putting them back. No matter how gently I place them in piles, the plates will not quietly go. They are being imprisoned without a fair trial, and they want the whole household to know. The cups and the saucers demanding their rights in protest will shout loud and clear. Though Melmac and Styrofoam keep out of sight, we're China, we're proud, and we're here. The glasses, for their part, are sneaky today. These girlish sopranos conspire. If I take 2 or 3 to the cabinet, then they will become a boisterous bell choir. I take hold of a knife or a fork or a spoon, and regardless how much I implore, it insists on clanging objection as soon as I lower it into the drawer. The casserole covers, when put on the shelves, continue complaining. I'm sure that the pots and the pans consider themselves percussion for some overture. If I can preserve for this little while some peace, then I'm going to try. So instead of getting the dishes all wild, I elect to let sleeping bowls fly. Real bad, real bad. Okay. Next, we're gonna ask Lena Yabel to please come.
First, I want to apologize for the phone call. This is called Road to the Beach. I drove slowly today down a path I had known. The same twisted trees, brush pines, logs against the stone. Inlets lazy and blue-green, kayaks move along. Stones line the shore, gulls slide and sail. The same path I've traveled with you many years before, without seeing pines or stones, the gulls or bright green shore. So many years have passed since I led you there. Things are clearer now. The sky, oceans below, ships on the bay, stones and logs at the shore. I see the face I never knew so many years ago.
Thank you so much, Nina. Now, Nina is on our film, Fortune Street on the Road film, which is on our website, fortunestreetontheroad.com. Now I'm going to turn to Zoomland and ask Claire, who do we have on Zoom that would like to read?
Today, Chip, we have JR and we have Kathy Donnelly, and I'm going to ask them to speak in a normal tone so we don't get the reverberation. Otherwise, I'll have to mute you, Chip. Your mic.
Okay.
All right. So why don't we start with JR?
Thank you, features. Thank you, readers. We're competing actually with a number of poetry events today. I'm so glad I picked the right one. Thank you. I'm going to cheat because I'm going to read a poem, but I can't help myself to recite a haiku for Vinnie and his laundromat poems. Friend at the fluff and fold, waiting for the dryer, we text in haiku. And we did. That was kind of cool. So I'm celebrating getting the proof of a new book. And Maggie is familiar with this process. I write a poem based on a prompt with my Farmingdale Creative Writing Group every Tuesday. And these are actually happened through the pandemic from March of 2020 through December of 2021. And so this is with a little help from my friends. Lost and found. When I lost the roadmap of my life, I swerved off the highway into a ditch, sat waiting to be rescued. When I lost my wallet, my ID, and some cash, I panicked, thinking I was the victim of a crime ring and would have to pay thousands in credit card bills. When I traded college for a full-time job, I lost the childhood sense of innocence and gained a lifetime of wisdom. When I lost my drive to succeed and realized a job wasn't a life but a career, I gave up that 9-to-5, and it was a liberating decision I've never regretted. When I lost my shakers of salt and pepper on a camping trip, I decided I liked the taste of food better without enhancements. When I lost the love of my life, I turned inside out, wallowing in lost dreams until love pursued me. When I lost my focus, my mind went one way, my turn of phrase went another way, and my imagination wrote a poem. When I lost my sanity, my sense of humor took over and I laughed myself back to normal. When I lost my way, you rescued me from a ditch, lent me a shoulder to cry on, and I found my wallet under the couch. When I lose you, the planets will cease to orbit, stars will refuse to shine, and my world will end. And that is a poem with contributions from 17 friends. Thank you.
Very, very nice, Judy.
Thank you, my
I
dear.
I like the first one very much too. The best, I think. So Claire and Chip and Maggie, great venue, and your readers, wonderful. So thank you for this opportunity. We're sitting on the back porch. My girlfriend's here with me, and because it's Memorial Weekend, I have a poem about war, and it's an old one. It's called War in Iraq and Afghanistan, 2006. The news talks of war. We should stay the course. We should retreat. 60,000 dead in Vietnam, 2 million drafted. My classmates, our brothers, future husbands. Now we are outraged by 2,000, our daughters, our sons. Progress? While politicians argue, the flesh on my son's bones is in jeopardy.
Chip, you're gonna have to unmute yourself. I can't do it from here. My apologies.
Oh, I had nothing important to say anyway. Okay, actually, I have this wonderful lady here, Barbara Ann Frost. This is someone who took the rock out.
Wow, it's great to be here today. Thank you, Maggie and Chip and Claire, all my buds over there. And it just so happens that I'm going to start my poem. It's a new poem, but I'm going to start it with something that I did when we first were in the Blue Duck, because I'm writing about the same topic, which is. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel way in the middle of the air. Yeah. Maybe Ezekiel was seeing a hurricane in a big biblical sky. This week, scientists said the hurricane outlook is dire. Not nice. To have enough names for the hurricanes, they may have to run through the alphabet twice. Between Central America and West Africa, where tropical storms form, the water temperatures in the 80s are increasingly warm. We've got La Nina and not El Nino this year. That means the girl child does not blow away any wind shear. That can cause a hurricane to disperse. Instead, she'll help make hurricanes worse. And by worse, I mean stronger. As it grows large, it gets real. From space, you can see spinning Ezekiel's wheel. Whether there are 12 or 30 storms with names, one by one, making landfall near you, the results are the same. So ask yourself, are you prepared? What you gonna do when the warning comes? Are you gonna go? Do you have a plan? Who are you gonna listen to? What you gonna do when the warning comes? Where are you gonna go? What you gonna take? Who you gonna leave behind? Prepare to stay safely, but leave if you have to. Live in a flood zone, do you know what's safer from home? If storm surge extreme, do you know what that means? Will someone you love be swept away? What you gonna do when the warning comes? Do you have a plan? Are you gonna go? Who you gonna listen to? What you gonna do when the morning comes? Take a look around. Hope that you have found everyone is safe and sound. Safe and sound. Nothing about us without us. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's up to you. Let's have a safe person.
Barbara Ann, you are amazing. Amazing. I would like to sing a song myself, but I can't. So I'm going to ask Bubby Brown to please come up and read. Bubby Brown is one of our founders of Poetry Street, and we're so glad that she's here. Let's pick it up with Bubby Brown.
Another great day at the library in Poetry Street. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah. Try to visualize the concept or putting to pen a rhyme. Embracing each child on God's green earth, enjoyed by each frame of time. Each generation, both future and past, and the present fits in the yoke. I understand you, you understand me, no matter what language we spoke. So it seems our differences are polarized, resolution nowhere in sight, but we both understand each other. Let's come together without a fight. Looking back in life's rearview mirror, no one's sorry, apologizes, or atones for the ruined lives, destroyed cities, and the square miles of forgotten gravestones. Imagine in that rearview mirror, check the result of every war. Really doesn't matter who won or lost. We're not the ones keeping score. Getting back to that eternal poem, which may never come to be, but the concept of world, a warless world, must be imagined by someone else other than me. It was told to me quite recently, war was God's way of population control. But I had to toss that crap out the window, like other crap I've been told. But some folk are just plain evil, heartless at starting wars. No matter all the things that they have, they want what is rightfully yours. They feel that might makes them right, and all is there for the taking. No thought of the misery they cause and the shattered lives they're making. Then there are the quiet few, taking seeds of peace, and sowing when all they want in the whole wide world is to write that eternal poem.
What an awesome piece of art. Thank you so much. Gladys Henderson, are you going to read for us today?
Yeah. First of all, I'm so sorry I'm late to everyone. I had problems with my Wi-Fi, and I am hugely apologetic for that. And I thought that I would bring you a poem, and unfortunately, here it is. Excuse me. Anyway, my apologies to everyone. The day after your husband sweeps the walk, leans into the task, as though nothing else exists, wide sweeping rhythms, a choreography of grief, a crown of death hovers above his head, almost too heavy for him to bear. Still he holds the broom handle close to his body, sometimes against his cheek, and in slow motion he sweeps the concrete as if learning to dance. 1, 2, 3, step. 1, 2, 3, step. Turn. He is weary, takes many rests, but today he feels the weight of dust pressing against the room. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gladys. Okay, so we are so happy that we have a community forum, and I think that Maggie is going to come up and she's going to read the last month's community forum.
I did read it. I'm going to read one of my poems. It's called Presence. That's Presence, not present. My mind is what turns a presence into a word. I watch the sun lift from the horizon. I feel a sense of wonder before I title the event Sunrise. It sinks. Awe strikes me before vocabulary rules. Sunset. What appears before the eyes is experienced first in the body. You stand looking at me. My heart flutters. My knees buckle. Pins and needles move from my toes, travel up veins and limbs through all those ventricles, chambers. Your beauty hits my cerebral cortex, and I identify you. Trouble.
Maggie Bloomfield, I tell you. No, I love you. Okay, so we're going to come back here and we're going to ask Linda Fuller, who is the sister of Harvey Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Linda. Do it again.
Very short poem. I did see a cardinal today. I was visited by a cardinal today. Angelic visitation is what they say. I flew silently for a minute, wanting him to stay. But like other angels in my life, he too soon flew away.
Thank you, Linda. So I think that's it. That we have here at the yes, I'm going to bring back Maggie, and she's going to bring back the features. So actually, I'll just bring back the features. First, we're going to go in reverse. Yes. Are you going to read it?
I have a poem.
Oh my gosh, today is Christmas. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's Claire.
Judy made me do this, so if it's not any good, you can all blame her. And Chip, if there's too much of an echo, please mute yourself. There we go. The gift of the weekend. I came here today only after discovering this program yesterday. I rewarded myself with the gift of this weekend. I have been selfish in not sharing these resources with everyone I can think of. I have kept it to myself, not out of fear it wouldn't be great, but not wanting to share this space with anyone but strangers. Strangers are kind and judge you on your presentation, not your baggage, too. I took a chance that the one I did share it with would not see or follow my advice, knowing my world revolves around my needs at the time, and that may not match anyone else's needs simultaneously. And I know by now no one likes to willingly follow any advice at first. I am where I am today because of every path I've followed leading up to this space. I opened myself to healing and moving forward. I think my aching knee wants me to sit still today and absorb everything I can, to soak in the messages, the healing power of words, to learn, to reimagine my life, to be engaged. My life has forever been changed by Zoom technology and transport, and by the connections I am making both close to home and far away. I'm coming alive in new and different formats. I get to see the inner version, my true self, come forth. I get to shine and bask and feel the glory of being alive. Touch is overrated if it comes from the wrong people. And simple touch that does not move your mind at the same time sets the stage for conflict. I have no room for unnecessary conflict in my life right now. The world has created more than its fair share in 2020. I have to simplify my desires and appeal to a higher need. There is nourishment out there that does not come in the form of food and family and fair weather friends. The higher spirit is what moves me. And that's from December 12th, 2020, in a program called Reimagining Grief. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire. That was really wonderful. Grief is something else, I tell you. I've been dealing with situations with grief for the last year, and even this week, two of my best friends passed away. So, and also, I came 20 feet from seeing a tow truck coming at me. So I'm really happy to be here. So Poetry Street is a room without a roof where every voice is heard and everyone is welcome. And we're so happy that this young man just came in here and walked in. I don't know his name, but I'm going to come up right now. And hopefully it's a happy for him. But if not, it's okay. What's your name? Lee? Let's give it up for Lee. Welcome to the
So I came from New Jersey. Left my house at basically I think like 11:10, and then took several trains. There was a trek to get here. Found out it was This is a beautiful place. It's beautiful. And the train station is right there. So this one's about addressed to my exes, who I owe very many apologies to. as my own, try to become a better person. And this one's called About the X. Acres of my skin are dedicated to darkened scar tissue, flesh marked by shrapnel from our exploded love. The breakup was botched surgery. We crawled, bloodied, to our separate foxholes, each with our own account of the other's malpractice. Then time made its rounds, sutured our lacerations. Our nerves ceased to howl at memories of our union. Reconciliation grew not so impossible, but remains perpetually ending. My owed apologies will be rendered like jagged breaths from lungs punctured by broken ribs. Yours like the last gasp of freshly splattered roadkill.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your effort and we appreciate you coming up from New Jersey.
And Lee is going to feature for us in July.
He is going to feature for us in July. Okay, so we're going to bring the music back. First, we're going to ask Akay to please come back and read for us. Akay, are you still there? Oh.
I don't think, no, she stepped away.
Okay, no problem. So we are going to ask Susan to please come back and read. So give it up for Susan. Susan, your poem is just so sensitive and so amazing. Thank you so much. Love you so much.
Right. We'll stick with the meditation theme. So this is meditation at dawn's light. In the early dawn's light, while the birds and squirrels are still nestled in, I light the candle and incense on my little altar. I ease my morning stiffness onto the cushion, pull my white crochet shawl around my shoulders. It takes a moment of fiddling and fidgeting to adjust aging hips and knees. I set the Mind Bell app on my phone for 45 minutes. Taking a long breath in and slowly releasing a deep relaxation, the mind-body begins to settle. In the distance, I hear the sound of sirens. I offer a silent prayer. May all beings be safe. Before I descend into the quietness, the organizer enters from the left side of my brain with a long list of what I need to do that day. Wisely, she places the list in my mental file cabinet so I won't be tempted to peek at it. She quietly leaves, shutting the light, closing the door. With the organizer out of the way, the angel of quietude comes forward from an inner sanctum. She floats around my ethereal body, wiping down my aura, checking for any holes or rifts that could allow negativity to enter. When she's satisfied that all is well, she glides behind me, placing luminous fingers on the top of my head. The energy moves down to the root of my spine and back to the crown again. Facial muscles automatically relax. Shoulders lower from their hunched tenseness. The belly breath begins to expand and recede like a rhythmic ocean's wave. In and out, in and out. From my mind's eye, I see my body, my legs crossed, my right palm resting on top my left palm. I focus on the air entering my nostrils. I feel my breath flowing, becoming lighter, inner quiet, noiseless. In the place of soundlessness, the breath gets lighter still, until there is barely a breath at all, a no breath. No sound, no body, no breath. A peaceful nothingness. From within the chamber of sovereign silence, I hear the mine bell softly gong 3 times. A deep breath helps me bring me back from wherever I was. I feel as if I've just sat down. It's moments before the mind and body connect. I linger, not wanting to leave, but the hips are ready to move, and the animals are pacing, waiting for their breakfast. I'm hungry too. Something that I just learned the other day, saying Happy Memorial Day in sign language. Okay, happy. We could all do this, happy. And this is like memory. So this means memory, memorial. And then we make it D, day. So happy Memorial Day. And you could also wave the flag.
Thank you so much. Learn something new every day. All right, now, the Vinnie, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Chip, Maggie, Claire, the Riverhead Library, and all of you for being here today. I really appreciate it on this holiday weekend. So, I'm going to leave you with a funny piece. It's called My Toothbrush is Against Me. True story. Upon exiting the shower, I slipped on the soap scummy floor. I threw up my back and saw I'd wax and clean such a chore. All my medications, taken all at once, caused me to nap. There are so many ways that home can kill you. Around every corner exists a trap. Even my toothbrush is against me. It tries to choke me with a loose filament. It lodges in my small intestine. This is my testament. Curtains become death shrouds. Don't even go near the stairs. The kitchen contains a concoction that changes grown men into bears. The backyard's a virtual jungle with a swamp and some real alligators. Don't mind the moat, we'll get you a boat. We must keep out all the invaders. Even my toothbrush is against me, man. I can't make this stuff up. And 4 out of 5 dentists agree, so rinse, spit, and refill the blue plastic cup. And what a roll of ghosts still remaining, though please don't get me started. We're just here for their entertainment. They took up residence before the town was even charted. And of all the inhabitants cursed all the same, when the living claimed and gave it a name, we tried to prevent it, but it's all in vain. Voices plead, get out. It drives us insane. Even my toothbrush is against me. I think he's finally gotten to the soap. If you get this message, please help me. I think I reached the end of my rope.
Wow, I'm going to bring Maggie up here. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. So, Maggie, tell us, what's going on 4th Street
Next month will be an extravaganza. We hope that everybody in this room and everybody who has been involved with Poetry Street over the years will drop in with a couple of poems. We will not have features next month. Everybody will have a chance to read probably 2 poems. And this is very important. There will be cake.
And why is there going to be cake?
There's going to be cake because it's 10 years. Great. Bobby Brown and Susan Dingle with me in tow. They were responsible for it. And wow, what an amazing, miraculous thing. And 10 years later, we're still here. And look at all these people on a holiday. Yes. So please come back next month.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all here.
Venmo or PayPal, any amount will do. Thank you.
Thank you, and please be safe this holiday season and every day. Thank you.